All right, with Robert Kiyosaki, said some very interesting things. And this is about the second or third time I've heard about some stuff that a lot of us don't know anything about. Pay close attention here.
Silver and moving into assets that aren't rigged by the Fed pumping a bunch of money into the system?
Well, I think the answer is you got to study, think for yourself. I was
The first success key, and this goes with the coronavirus. You got to think for yourself. You got to get accurate information from professionals, but outside the media. For crying out loud, this is a cold or flu, and we're going to keep the whole world shut down. This is working so damn well that they're going to keep it up. And I think forever. I think this is part of the deep state agenda. I've been saying this for a long time. The more you study history, the more you realize that we've been fighting and losing the Nazis from the Third Reich for 70 years. Monsanto came from them. They're still screwing with our food and our seeds and our soil and population control. You've got people like George Soros coming from the Third Reich, screwing with the politics. And this is just from things that we can see and we can find out. There's a hell of a lot of stuff that we can't find out and don't know. You got the best scientists and spies from the Third Reich coming over and screwing with our medicine and our pharmaceutical. You got the best scientists that they got and back engineers that have went into NASA. You've got people that have been working in back engineering UFO stuff from them. We've been losing this battle from the elite and the Third Reich for 70 years. And this comes in financial markets too. Listen to this. You can go back and study how elite Jews screwed over their own people in the First and Second World Wars. They got an audio on this stuff. I mean, it's beyond anything that the media will talk about.
always crack up. I hear that all the time. You didn't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I said, if I told you to jump off the fucking cliff, you jump off the fucking cliff?
Maybe.
Now, bad language, but anyhow, he's got a point. Are you going to be a baby and have to be handheld on everything you do? I mean, I don't know enough, and I know I need more help and guidance, but you've got to start growing up, putting your own pants on, and making smart decisions.
Moron, you know what I mean? And the trouble is, everybody went to school and they said, oh, tell me what to do. Well, you studied calculus. The trouble is, I asked my teacher, I said, when am I going to use calculus? And he couldn't answer me.
I got a lot of calls home. My mom got a lot of calls home during my calculus classes too. Jake's in the back and he's not listening to me. And so.
Yeah, and so I really think is what you and I are ultimately saying is don't look for an answer, think for yourself, and then seek your own answers. I can tell you what I do, okay? Yesterday I made $750,000 because the tax laws changed. Not the tax laws changed, but the stimulus laws changed. So I said, well, you should have bought $400 million worth of real estate. Well, the average schmo cannot even buy a house.
There's the problem. The average schmo can't even buy a house. And with this stimulus going out and with the changing of the laws, you're not even going to be able to come up with 20%. Stanley Morgan said that they're going to raise the limits to buying a house to 20%, and you have to have 700 plus on your credit rating. This is all rigged for the wealthy.
So how are you going to buy $400, $500 million worth of real estate unless you study it? Well, you didn't tell me what to do. I said, well, go buy $500 million worth of real estate. Well, I can't do that. I said, well, that's the problem. And so the reason these morons out there want to be told what to do is because that's what they were trained to do, like a trained seal. Oh, give me a fish and I'll jump up and down and jump through hoops. Oh, I'll get a job. Okay, I'll get a job. Oh, invest in the stock market. Okay. Oh, I'm going to save money. Okay, I'll do that. That's the problem. You can't think for yourself. Grow up. Metamorphosis. Transformation from an
So again, thinking for yourself. All great entrepreneurs think for themselves, they find ways to make it work. Think about this. Our training system is broken down. There are people now asking you 15 grand to get education to show you how to do things, $50,000, $75,000 to show you what to do. And believe me, people with money are paying it so they can learn what to do online because they know that their physical brick and mortar buildings are not enough. The past thinking is not enough. Can you and me afford that? No, but there are courses out there that start at $100 a month. If you can't come up with $100 a month, you're screwed.
Immature form to an adult form. That's what you're doing. You're not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm still growing up. But the first thing about growing up is challenge what is running between your left ear and your right ear.
Absolutely. And it's a shame that a lot of people will just dismiss you as being negative, or you're trying to antagonize people. And those are the criticisms that I'm sure you're aware of that you get.
That's one thing. I enjoy it.
I know you do. So I want you to tell me, why is this fake money and why is this real money?
I think you're better qualified to do that, but it's always been that way. There was a man named the Rothschild. He says, you want to control people, you control their money.
Wow, quote unquote, you want to control people, control their money. Now, don't get me wrong. This is again with taxation. This is again with governments. This is again with banking systems. This is again with Forex. The control works so damn well. And that they want more than that. They want your political mindset. They want your money and assets. They want your frickin' life. I can go and show you again and again how it is all over frickin' control. Whatever level you want to look at.
And that's why lesson number one in Rich Dad Poor Dad, rich don't work for money. Now, the reason I like gold and silver is because when you study money, what the dollar is always called counterparty risk to it. And the average guy goes, counterparty or what? A stock has counterparty risk to it. All money has counterparty risk. That means you got to trust somebody else. Like the counterparty risk of the dollar, the US dollar or any money, the yen or the peso, is you have to trust your government. If you trust your government,
you're screwed if you trust your government. You're screwed if you trust a lot of entities.
Knock yourself out, man. Save all the money you can as a screw you. So the reason I like gold and silver, that's God's money. If you read my book, Fake Money, Fake Teachers, Fake Asset, gold and silver were here when the earth was formed. God is your counterparty. I'm not really religious, but I'm just making a point here. I trust God, which means you add L to the word God, it spells gold. Oh my Jesus. Hallelujah, brother. Moses, Buddha, Muhammad. It's gold. Wake up. It's been that way for millions of years. So I'd rather trust that. Now, what about Bitcoin? I said, well, if you're a young person like you have a better chance at Bitcoin than me just because of age and experience. But Bitcoin is still susceptible to an EMP, electromagnetic pulse. If there is a knockout of the whole electrical grid system, Bitcoin's gone. It's toast. So there's always a risk to everything. So if you want to guarantee.
See, that's the problem. People want to save, they want to guarantee. There's no damn guarantees. But timing is everything. Hell, I could have spent $200 on Bitcoin and been worth $750 million profit on $200. And what could you have done with that money? See, everybody said, no, don't do Bitcoin, don't do Bitcoin. Bitcoin's coming back up again. We're going to see if it starts moving. And believe me, if it starts moving, I'm going to put some money on it again. And I've got to get some investors and get some money because I know Autobots can make you a hell of a lot of money. They can think smarter and more profitable than you ever will be on a single frickin' trade. They can do 28 exchanges in seconds. You can't do that. Hell no.
Go work for the U.S. government. get a job, work hard, save money, and give them my pension. This is what I study. I don't study calculus, but 80% of the global debt is measured in U.S. dollars. So then that means the demand for U.S. dollars is going to go up. Thank God.
80% of the U.S. debt, the world debt, is calculated in U.S. dollars. That's not by accident.
God, you use dollars, but if you use Aussie dollars or Kiwi dollars or the yen or the peso, you're hosed. You see, it's not money, it's just what's in your head. So the U.S. government, as you know, screws everybody. You think we're the good guys? Wake up. I was in Vietnam for one reason, oil, oil. Why are we in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan? Oil. Wake up. Wake up. It's the rich run the world. So there is the golden rule.
Rich run the world, quote unquote. Let's move on here.
You have to work in the real world of money. So that's how I learned so much. I would rather follow my rich dad who had no education than my poor dad who was a PhD. And the way my rich dad taught me was playing Monopoly. So that's why I created the cash flow board game. But it says they have an answer is an idiot. Tomorrow I'll change my answers again. I should have done this. I shouldn't have hired my last president and CEO. They were thieves. They stole $4 million from my company legally. And so I had to call in a whole new auditing team and all that. But they were the best thing that happened to me because I got smarter. You see, every bad thing that happens to you either makes you smarter or more stupid or a victim. So you want to play.
You either get smarter by you being a victim or you don't. But the bad things will either help push you forward or they'll destroy you, depending on how you handle it.
Victim, and you want me to be PC with you and all this stuff. Don't come to Rich Dad. Go to Oprah. Talk to the Kardashians. They make billions of dollars with TNA, if you know what I mean. You know what sells there, right? It's not their brain power. It's sex. So,
tits and ass. Excuse my language, but yeah.
Consider studying or looking into potentially getting a little bit, even if it's just a little bit of silver, even if it's just a little bit of gold, and diversifying yourself away from the mainstream assets that they're perpetuating in our system.
Now, what they're not telling you is there are EFTs on gold. You've got Forex trading that is a lot more profitable than Bitcoin, but you have digital assets that are moving every day in the millions and trillions of dollars. Now, he talked about shadow banking and some other stuff. I don't know where all that stuff's at. Let me go back here and look here. Let's look at some of this transcript. First of all, the reason businesses are so important is that first of all, at the end of the year, you can write off all your profits, end up paying nothing or very little in taxes. And number two, an interesting comment here on McDonald's form of business, purpose of business to buy real estate and buy real estate, and I can buy gold and silver, but I'm using debt and paying So again, the purpose of McDonald's is to buy real estate. That I can buy gold and silver, but I'm using the debt, paying no taxes. That's intelligent. But first, can I do that because to school and your poor parents and draw on the background? He says, past real estate says, is because I'm prepared for this and preparing for the next crisis called a depression. I'm going to get even richer. Not that I want to flaunt it, but because just rather than richer than poor, that's all, it's a choice. Gets thrown into my head that it's a message that all women out there get smarter and smarter with your money wife blogs rich women think it'll be smart to know what do you think about good business and the future people out there. Doesn't make a difference. Don't even need the business to know all that. Educate yourself. Understand this. I don't have stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs because it's created a thing called a game board. Anyhow, history shows us, and I'm going to move back here. History shows us that these depressions were created by rich people who knew that the things would go down. They had assets and they had money, and then they bought stuff, great things at a real cheap price. And as things came out of the depression, they made off like gangbusters. It was one of the biggest rip-offs in world history. Well, I tell you, it's coming again. A depression or something like it is coming again. I'm not just a doomsday person. This COVID-19 has many ramifications, and one is to eliminate weak businesses and to make the real estate drop and to put a lot of people out of business and to bring those people into welfare, to get Democratic votes and to get liberal dictatorship government, and to make the wealthy even wealthier. I'm telling you, that's what this thing is all about. It's always about control and money and power. Always. Once you start looking at that, history changes. And this is an SOB world, but it's the truth. I'm going to end it here. It's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Either wake up and learn how to deal with it, or you get rolled over and crushed. That's it. Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. This is Robert Kiyosaki and this other guy here. Let's see who he is. I think this guy is I Love Prosperity, and he's got 13.9 subscribers. And see what his name is here. Doesn't even show his name. But here's his picture. And the thing is, I love prosperity. What can I say? There's so much going on. You gotta pay attention to financial markets. But in my case, you also gotta make money to get out of debt. You gotta get out of debt. You gotta make money work for you. You gotta make your time work for you. And you gotta think beyond this time. Because I tell you, the minister in me is gonna tell you that Christ is coming, that these things are gonna get more difficult, the control is gonna get more massive, and the dictator-like control of money, markets, other things. These money people know wherever money goes, that's where they go. And it doesn't matter if you're into artificial intelligence, doesn't matter if you're into spying and got magnifying glass up your butt, or people that are powerful, like control, and they love their money and they love their power. This is a head game, this coronavirus, and you need to know that one of the greatest financial battles and control battles the world has ever known is coming up through this coronavirus and this crap that they're talking about, period. And the smart people are going to gather together because they're going to have to eliminate their assets, to pay off their real estate, to make money work and more usable, because they're going to be hammered big time by the rich and powerful, big time. Whether you can see it or not see it is all a matter of time before you realize that you're being had again. This is Roger Martin from Billings, Montana.